Live.
What is up, guys, and welcome to the Alpha Dynasty. I know we're running a little late here. We had some technical difficulties, and today we had the guest that was coming up today did not, unfortunately, could not show up due to some personal issues. But here we are. Yeah, here we are. So today is gonna be about real talk, man. Today we're gonna get down and dirty on real talk. We're gonna talk. It's a bunch of men. So Isis is not with us today. Isis, we love you, and I know that you're on your way down to an event. So we send you all the love in the world. But since it's all guys in the house, we're gonna be talking men's talk. We're going to be talking about our past. We're going to be talking about the way that men, the challenges that men have. Yep. But before we get started, let me go ahead and start by introducing myself. For those who don't know me already, I am your boy Mario here at Alpha Dynasty, along with the one. There you go. The lion up in the joint.
Oh, he got an introduction today.
Along with the one and only.
The one and only, the más guapo from your dad, Eddie Dorado.
And today we have a homie up in the house. It's gonna be, you know what? He didn't want to be up. He didn't want to be up in the podcast. We just made him do it because why? Right. We're all men, and we're gonna go ahead and shoot the shit up in this joint. So go ahead and introduce yourself, my brother.
What up, guys? My name is Brandon. Pleasure meeting you guys. My Instagram is Relentless Brandon, and it's an honor to be on, guys.
Dale. Yeah, it's an honor having you, bro.
That's right.
But with that being said, like I said, we're going to be talking men's talk, bro. Shit, you know what I mean?
About time.
Yeah, it's been a
real
while.
Talk, in other words.
Yeah, real talk, bro. And that's something that we've actually gotten into, right? So let's get started with this. Let's shoot down into a conversation that has to do a little bit with our past. I think this is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't. Talk a little bit about who we were in general, and that's something that we've discussed in the past.
Yeah.
For those who don't know me or don't know me as well, I had a crazy ass childhood. I did. You know what I mean? I grew up in the hood. I grew up in the gangbanging life. I grew up in all that from stabbings to shooting to juvenile hall to all that good stuff.
Right. The hood.
Yeah. And that brought a lot of stories that I shared here with Jonathan, with the Eddie. But there's been a lot of stories, bro, and we were brought up in a different life, in a different time, right? Where I grew up in the mentality, and to all my boys who are watching, to all my boys out there, and to all the peeps who grew up in the 90s, you guys understand where I'm coming from. It was just a cutthroat era, bro. Like we were literally shootings were the daily thing, stabbings were the daily thing. By the time I was 16 years old, 15, 16 years old. I'd already lost 22 friends to gang violence, right?
A lot of violence.
Yeah, a lot of violence. In the 90s, the early 90s were crazy as shit. They were. I mean, a lot of people talk about like, oh, it's crazy. No, the 90s were insane, right? That's what we had to grow up in. I mean, we had no choice. We had to, right? But I think the life expectancy for many of us, and again, we were raised by baby boomers, which brought us with that whole like, you got to be rugged. You got to be tough. You can't settle down.
Yeah, they threw us out in the streets, and we learned all the street stuff.
Hell yeah! There
wasn't anyone regulating us.
There wasn't.
Yeah.
And the shit is, we couldn't come back home until the lights were out on the street.
So we just got in trouble.
I didn't have no video games, bro. Like bullshit aside, video games for me, like yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So we get to that life. So we had to pick. And again, a lot of people say out there, you join gangs and you do certain things because of the environment that you grew up in and because of the family. You know what? That's bullshit. And I'll just call out that shit right off right now. That is bullshit. I got into neighborhood life. I got into gang life. I got into because of a choice, bro. I made the choice. I had an amazing father. I have an amazing mother.
Right, but what environment were you in?
No, I wasn't in a crazy environment. I wasn't in Beverly Hills either. But again, I have friends that were never part of a neighborhood. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
I grew up. I chose to do that. Yeah. So it's not necessarily your family. I think for many of us, it's your choice. Right?
Absolutely.
It's a choice. And I think we made that choice. Yeah.
Yeah, because I grew up in Santana, and, there were gangs all over the place. I chose not to.
Yeah. For some of us, it was a no-brainer. It's like, no, I don't want to join it. For many of us, like myself, it was like, shit, that was the one thing to do. I just It was just that thing, you know.
I just knew that there was a lot of violence in my house because I knew that if I get joined a gang, my dad would have kicked my ass every day. So that was the violence I had.
I think the problem is too like it's either you join a gang to not get picked on.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is your environment who you're hanging out with, because if I'm hanging out, for example, with him, Eddie, and he's gaining into it, his other buddies are getting, I want to get into it as well, because why? You don't want to be left out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think it just, obviously when you're young, you make stupid decisions, and that's what really happens, right?
And it was also a defense mode, bro. Like, look, I started, and again, for all my boys who are watching, all the ones who know, right? If you know, you know. I started a crew when I was about 13 years old. It was a protection type of thing, right? Either you walk home, either you were part of a crew or they're gonna beat your ass. It's the way it was, right? So we formed a little crew. Within a couple of weeks, we had about 60 members, right? That got the attention of the local neighborhoods. Like, damn, how the hell are these kids growing so goddamn fast? Then the recruitment started, where so either you join the neighborhood or we're gonna take you guys out. So then that's where I like, for me, it wasn't necessarily pressure that got me into it. I think I just got into it because I wanted to. It was just a lifestyle. And it's a crazy shit, right? Back in the 90s, and you know that, right? Back in the 90s, it was like, you see that cat with that fine-ass woman, right? And you're like, God damn, I want to be that fool. Then you start the whole thing, but you don't know the dynamics of what happens behind the scenes. You think it's all party and having a good time, like for those that smoke weed, drink, party, girls, all that. But there's a dark side to that shit, dude, right? I grew up in that. And the thing is, I think I was very innocent when I first came around that life. And then in a snap of a finger, bro, I just became this different person. Where in my mind, my life expectancy was 18 years old. I wasn't going to pass 18, so I had to live fast. So then my life became this thing that I just had to live fast and do crazy shit along the way. And I did a lot of shit that I'm not proud of, a lot.
Right.
But it got me to a point where I became who I am today. Without that life, I'm not who I am today.
Yeah.
If it makes any sense, right?
Absolutely.
What saved me, and much love to the homies, that were there for me during that time. What saved me was the fact that I had my child at 18. So my son was born at 18, and I think that's what got me out and got me focused in a different direction. But for many of us, we didn't leave that life behind. We didn't outgrow that life, and I think for those who have been part of a neighborhood or have been part of that life, that at one point or another you have to learn to leave that life because you got family to worry about. You got, your mindset has to change. But there's a lot of people that don't outgrow that shit. You know what I mean? And it's crazy to understand why they don't do it, right? And a lot of people will sit back and say, well, shit, they don't do it because X, Y, and Z. They still want to be part of this, even though they have kids but it's for some people, it's just a mindset, bro. It's just a life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It has to be the mindset.
Yeah, and then you get and then you do some time.
Yeah, you just don't want to continue living that life.
Yeah,
and I think it's like everything, and even addictions. You just have to get tired of that life. You have to just decide, like, shit, this is everyday life. There has to be something different. Either that, or there's no point in life. And of course, there's point in life.
Yeah,
you just have to make it.
And I think
you just have to make your point in life.
And that's what it comes down to, right? Yeah. Like, you have to understand. See, I was fortunate enough, bro. Like, honestly, and as crazy as it sounds, right? I grew up in the hood, was part of a neighborhood. I did a lot of dirty shit in my life. Stuff that I'm not proud of. But drugs weren't a thing. Like, I just never got into drugs. I didn't. I smoked weed. But I'm not going to sit here and say that I smoked like a motherfucker because I didn't.
Did you inhale?
No, I didn't. I only smoked it once, but I didn't inhale.
I did not inhale.
You know what's crazy? I always tell Eddie that, like, I've been around, like, when I grew up, like, I smoked weed once in a while, but I never liked it.
You didn't inhale either?
I had hell. I felt that.
I took that shit out.
My eyes are red. They're like, you got eye infection? Like, nah.
my lungs felt that motherfucker.
No, but going back to the question was like, yeah, like, I mean, what we're talking about is, I was never addicted to that either, and I'm thankful for that because I see like the addictions that people have, and they don't let it go, you know. And one of the things I saw a quote the other day. It says a boy stays a boy because he doesn't want to become a man yet. And what happens is you just became a man, and you're forced to like, hey, I got a baby, you know what I mean? I got to take care of that. This stuff is for little kids now. Like, we got to move on, you know what I mean?
Responsibility.
And that's the thing, right? Like you said, you have to grow up. But a lot of individuals don't grow up out of that.
They don't want the responsibility.
Look, I have homies that you know, and peeps that I know, they just never outgrew that life, and it's to an extent it is kind of fucked up, bro. Because look, I'm the one that you know that says, you know what, from you know de barrio empresario, you know what I mean, like. I want to say that I'm probably one of the fortunate ones to be able to have gotten from a hood setting where life expectancy was very, very low, where I could honestly say and look at the camera and say, my mother one time told me, you know what, you're not going to live past this year because of the kind of type of life that I was living.
Right.
To be sitting here today and saying, I own businesses, you know, we have this podcast, like we have things going on for ourselves, but unfortunately for some of the homies, it's not like that. I have friends that are serving life in prison, right?
Right.
I got friends, like I said, 22 friends. Some of those my cousins that passed away, you know, when I was about 15, 16 years old. I had already lost 22 friends to gang violence.
Wow.
So this is the kind of stuff that you look at and you say, sometimes you have to outlive it, right? But it's that mindset of like, shit, do I outlive it or do I just avenge the death of all my friends? And sometimes you got to kind of leave the vengeance mindset behind and focus on what tomorrow's going to bring you.
Right.
Right? And many people don't do that. They get stuck. And the shit is, once they get stuck on something, then the mindset comes in and says, okay, well, I want to be part of this neighborhood and I want to hang out and I want to chill. And like, that shit just doesn't get old. And to me, it got old, right? And to many of the homies, it got old. But then the drugs come in. You know, the freaking meth, the coke, you know, the rock, and all this stuff starts coming in, and that hooks them. That never lets them go. And it's crazy. I was talking to, just to kind of get, you know, like a little bit of dialogue on this. I was talking to one of my boys not that long ago. And we were just kind of reminiscing on old friends. Yeah, I remember so-and-so, yeah, he passed away. Remember so-and-so, yeah, he passed away.
Oh.
What about so-and-so, yeah, he passed away. What about so-and-so, he overdosed. And it's like, bro, I was going through all kinds of friends that I grew up with. I hadn't seen a quick minute. And then I come and find out that like 80% of them are dead, and the other ones are in prison. That's the shit that we go through, bro. Like, is man, like, at least for us, I can speak for myself only, right? But at least for myself, growing up in that type of freaking life, it put us in a different dimension, right? But then again, it evolved me into who I am today.
What made you evolve? And what made you say, like, no, this isn't the life I want? Besides the fact that you had a baby coming along. Because, like you said,
it was difficult,
a lot
bro.
Of people, of men have children and they're still in that life. You know,
it was very. I'm not gonna sit here and lie, bro. It was very difficult for me to lead that life.
Yeah.
And for my baby mama knows this shit. It was very difficult, bro, because that life was still within me all the time. I was like, homies were coming to the house, like, we're still posted up. She knows that shit, right? Even when my son was born, I call him my little savior, because during the time that he was born, I was having like a really difficult time trying to stay, like, trying to keep my mind right is to, like, trying to outgrow this shit. And I was more intertwined with the kind of damage that I was going to cause her. I was very angry during that time, bro. And he was born, and I think when he was born, and he's probably watching, but I usually call him my little savior, right? Because that's the time that it got me like, fuck, you know? Like, I had him and I saw him and it's like, shit, I got to tone the fuck down, because that anger was still there, but I just kind of calmed it down. Then my daughter was born. At 20, I was 20 when she was born. And so my princess was born at that time. And I was like, fuck, like I'm still like, but at that point I'm already thinking like, shit, this is way bigger than me. Like at this point now, that life is way bigger than me. Like their life is more important than mine. And for those who for many of us who have kids, you know that you'll give your life up for your kid in a heartbeat. Wow. And that's when that shit just clicked in for me and say, you know what, this is more important than me. And I think that's when my life began to take a turn. And it's like, all right, I got to focus on different shit. And then I'm going to give shout out to all my boys, the homies that are watching that you know who you are. And I got a lot of love for you and a lot of respect for you. A lot of the homies that told me, you're a dad now, bro. Like, you got to focus on your shit. Like, you got to leave. We in the neighborhood, we have your back 110%. But you got to focus on your family, bro. This life ain't for you no more. I think that's the part that got me over the hump a little bit. Having the blessing of some of the old homies that were really there for me and pushing me to do better. Not everybody has that fucking blessing.
Yeah, because in everything in life, you always have people that want to hold you where they can control you, or because they don't want to see you grow more than what they are. So you were, I guess you could say you were blessed to have that type of environment.
I was, bro, and the thing with that is this. Given the fact that like I said, right, I was very angry. But, I mean, you'll relate to me, and then we'll get to you in a bit on that end. But you could relate to me on this shit. I was very angry, but it was very difficult for me to let that emotion out. Because if I go and tell somebody this shit, and you know where we grew up, we were raised by baby boomers, which were like fucking, solid individuals that never talked about their issues, right? I grew up with the mentality, and to this day, it's very difficult for me to cry. If you see me crying, you're one of the chosen one, I guess, in my life, because I don't cry, bro. It's very difficult. Even for my dad's funeral, it was very difficult for me to cry.
Right.
But so it goes into that effect, right? Where it was very difficult for us to share our emotions. So we sucked up a lot of fucking emotion, a lot, right? And we had to suck it up, because if we told somebody and they got pissed at us, what did they say? You a
that
bitch.
Little bitch was crying.
You a bitch.
Oh,
You freaking, there you go.
Yeah.
So people ask a lot of times, like, why we are the way that we are. And I think that molded us to be different. We're protectors by nature, and I'm a huge believer in that, bro. Like, the way that my father raised me, and that man, to me, is my hero to this fucking day, bro. I was raised with the idea that a man's a protector. Right? That idea, somewhere along the line, got lost for the younger generations. But I've been a protector, one. Right. Two, we don't hurt people just because we want to hurt them, right? So we have to I do things differently, bro. I do things the way that I was brought up. And sometimes it's very difficult for me to understand this younger generation. Because it's this younger generation, and then we'll come to you now. Because the younger generation, what do they say, bro? Oh, well, shit, you know what I mean? It's like, you could just fuck them. Like, it's just a snap, screw them, you know what I mean? Like, it's a fast, get them out, whatever. And to me, it's like, it's not like that. Shit, we have
standards. We have respect.
There we go.
You know, we know it's our word counts. Our word is everything.
Shit, our word is
our word is gold.
Yeah.
Without your word, you're nothing. You're nobody. You know.
And I think that's what we
comes
fight.
Down to it.
That's what we fight for, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Shit, we fight for. So it's a lot of emotions we carry inside that people don't fucking see. The people don't care to see.
Yeah.
And look, I was told by somebody, it's okay for you to share your emotions. It's okay for you to open up. It's okay for you to do that. But we're so programmed not to.
Yeah.
That it's so difficult. And when you see like a younger individual, like you're younger than us, obviously, right? But even for my son who's young, right? And he's probably watching right now, but it's very difficult for us to share our emotions. It really is, right? I never saw my father cry. No, I lie. I saw my father cry once in his life when my grandma passed away.
Yeah.
Bro, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. I saw my dad cry.
And I don't cry. And I hold my tears, and I hold my tears, and I hold my tears, and I hold my tears. because I'm so programmed that we don't cry.
Yeah.
We don't. We have to protect. We have to be the protectors. We have to be the saviors. We have to be we have to be the fucking lions, right?
In the family.
And it's a younger generation that doesn't understand that, and it trips me out, bro. Because I'm like,
they're sensitive.
They're very, not all of them, and I'm not saying all of them are. I mean, because there's a lot of some motherfuckers out there, but there's a lot of them that, like me, I grew up being, and you fucking know that shit, right? Like, I'm sure you know, you probably were the same way. We were abused by, our teachers cussed at us. God forbid a teacher cuss at you now. Shit, that should come out on again. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
Our parents gave them the permission to whoop our ass.
Hell yeah!
And that right there is what's needed.
And I got beat with a ruler.
Oh, I got beat with a pad, bro.
I don't know.
Wham!
So you had to put your hands up like this. And for those who don't fucking know, like, this is the way they used to fucking educate your ass back then. Put your hand like that, and they'll smack your ass in the freaking with the ruler on the hand. Bro, I went through that shit, right? That shit doesn't happen anymore. You know?
But it's like child abuse.
But this is the thing, right? I could speak when we're talking men, right? What happened to the men? You know what I mean? Like, what happened to the God-fearing, honest, ass-kicking, tough, rugged sons of bitches out there? You know what I mean? Like, there's still some. I'm not gonna freaking say that. And even youngsters, there's still some that are that. But bro, somewhere along the line, men became extremely sensitive.
Yeah. You know what I have seen? I have seen this. I'm not saying that I'm not saying I have the answers to it all, and I know why it's happening. But what I've seen is that a lot of single women are raising our generation, our men.
Yeah.
And they're raising them too soft.
Yeah.
They're not letting them suffer.
Yeah.
They wanna take care of them. They as soon as they need something, they're there to take care of it. Oh, my poor baby.
Yeah.
Let me do. I don't want him to suffer.
Yeah.
His dad's not here. I don't want. No, that's so wrong, because they don't understand that, because that boy is not suffering, or well, not suffering, but that young man is being catered to.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
You want to know a statistic? Sorry to cut you off real quick.
handle it.
Statistics say...
no, I'm gonna whoop your ass if you cut me off again. Mental. No, just later.
Statistics say that actually single fathers raise better kids than single women.
Yeah.
Statistics. It's not us.
Well, yeah,
You
Brian,
can look it up.
It goes back to what I'm saying, because the men, we're not gonna be pampering us. Get your ass up.
Look.
I'm crying. Get your
Look.
ass, right?
This is the one thing that I think
100%.
There's a lot of single women out there. If you're a single woman by choice, that's wrong. Because if the man wants to be part of the life of the child, that child needs to have a male role model. And that's I'm sorry, but I had an amazing role model in my life, which was my father. Right? I think I was raised right. I made a lot of mistakes. Don't get me wrong. I still make mistakes now. But I was raised with the proper ideals of a man.
Exactly. That's
Right?
what it comes down to it.
And my mother raised me to have a good heart. And I will always give her that.
We
you know
need
what I
that
mean?
balance.
Te quiero madre.
We need that balance.
But my father raised me to be tough. Right? He's a kind-hearted man. He was an amazing man. But he also taught me a lot of lessons on how to be a man. Right? Lessons that I hope I pass over to my children. Right? And that's the thing that has to happen. A male role model has to be in the life of a child,
Right.
both boy and girl. Why? Because while the woman could teach them a lot of stuff, they can't teach them everything that has to do with with being a man. Being a man, unfortunately, for many of us is just being tough. We have to be tough because we're measured with a different branch than females are. And I always say this: a female gets her feelings hurt, goes to a friend, goes to a boy, whether it be a man or a woman. Any female could go up to somebody and say, "I'm hurting," and she'll get catered to. Right or wrong, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. Things are gonna work out. Blah blah. Whatever.
Right.
Try doing that shit as a man. And then we get told you're a bitch, you're a punk, man the fuck up.
You know what you gotta do?
Yeah.
We know what we gotta do.
I had a young homie, and I'm not gonna say his name, but I had a young homie that lost his brother to gang violence. Was crying, right? Rightfully so. Mm-hmm. He lost his brother to gang violence, right? If I would lose a brother to gang violence, I would have fucking been in tears, probably an entire year, because I do love my brothers, right? And he was told, man the fuck up and stop crying. You're a man. You're not supposed to be crying. It's like, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, bro, that's the reason why any man that's a man and that understands this shit and goes through struggles, and that's the reason why we don't talk about shit. We tend to deal with our problems on our own, but we get to cry on our own. We get to do shit on our own. Females tend to tell us it's okay to do it.
They think we're weak.
Until they hold it against us. And the shit with men is this. We can't show that weakness, because the moment you show that fucking weakness, a lot of females will take it and disrespect you with that shit. Mm-hmm. And that's just wrong, right? So what do? We hold our feelings in. Yeah. The moment you try to say something and like at least open up a little bit, they don't understand you. And then you hold on to your freaking feelings. And they wonder why your ass so fucking broken. It's like shit, you know what I mean? Because that's the way that we were fucking raised.
Damn if you do.
I was listening to a podcast the other day, and one of the guys asked, like, well, it's actually not a podcast, it was on Instagram, but he said, they asked the guy, like, if women want to know what's in a man's mind, he's like, just understand that they're going through like 1,000 things at one time. Mm. Like, and the 1,000 things are like the stuff like we go through that we don't want to talk about. You know what I mean? So sometimes like we're forced to kind of keep that into ourselves. Yeah. And not express any of those emotions, because it's like, okay, well, you're going to use that and say, you're weak. He's crying. Yeah. Oh, he's not a strong man. And guess what happens? Walks away. But see, as men, that's how we process things, though. We're built different as of, hey, we don't want to talk about it. We just figure it out. You know what I mean? And as we figure it out, we keep thinking there, we're going to get it done. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Yeah. But don't get me wrong. It is sometimes you want to have that conversation with somebody. Yeah. And I believe that you got to have at least like 5 key people in your life that, like, I know Eddie's one of mine, you know what I mean? I have a couple other friends that I know if I go to him and if I cry, I know he won't tell me nothing, but he'll tell me as all right, bro, cry it off, awesome, let's get your ass up. You know what I mean?
See, I got my son here saying that. I'm here. They're saying, hear what you mean, and say, y'all tripping. Quite wrong people. No, that's true. You know what? Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I'm just reading this out the. But one of the persons I could talk to, honest to God, is my son. Right. I do talk to him. And my son, Papa, I love you. You know that. That's one individual that I could talk to. Him and my daughter. That I could.
Well, then again, but he has you in his life. That's why he is a man that he is. Yeah. Because you're teaching him your standards.
Yeah, and he has a really good mentality, bro. Right. Like he gives amazing advice. Both him and my daughter give amazing advice. They were raised by an amazing woman too. Don't get me wrong. I give credit where credit is due, but they do provide some amazing freaking insight, bro. Like they really do. But not everybody is fortunate enough to have somebody like that in their life, right? Right. So while my son is an amazing friend to his friends, and I know my son alone has been through a lot of issues himself with some friends, but there is individuals out there that don't have the luxury of having friends like that, Dude, I actually, my buddy of mine. I remember we're at the bar one time, and it was a couple years ago, and I got an argument with my dad, and I was upset, and I go and I'm with him at the bar, and I look at him, and he didn't grow up with the father, and I asked him, I said, bro, do you ever like I was complaining to him a little bit, and then I asked him, like, bro, like, how does it feel not having a father? Yeah. He's like, let me put it this way. He's like, at least you have somebody to give you shit. Yeah. And at that moment, I kind of looked at him, and I was like, fuck, I'm so ungrateful. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it hit me, like, sometimes, I know my dad isn't perfect. Nobody is. Oh, nobody is, bro.
But I learned a lot from him. Like, he taught me a lot of things to this day. Like, he's on my ass, but then I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, I love him, and he's doing it because he wants me to see. I remember Mario said that, our coach, my mentor.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
He said, one time we're flying to Arizona. We're going to go to 10X with Grant Cardone. And he's like, there's 2 people in life that want to see you better than them. Right. It's like your father and your coach. Remember that. And that hit me. And when he said that, I thought about that moment with my friend. I was like, damn, that's true. That's how my dad kicks my ass because he loves me. You know what I mean?
You look at Easy says, que cachetada con guante blanco. Yeah, for all the women who aren't, you know. And then this one, again, Martin Morales 8530, that's my son. He says, R.I.P. my boy Dylan. Cried around me, and sometimes you need to get that shit sometimes. Yeah. And you know what? That's one that I got to talk to my son about a lot. And it's men that deal with so much bullshit, bro. Like we deal with so much shit sometimes. It's that level of depression and anxiety and all that we can't show it. And sometimes, you know, with my son's friend Dylan, he unfortunately, you know, did the unthinkable, and you know, and it ended up in a tragic outcome. But that's the kind of shit that happens, bro. Like, look, for a while, bro, and I know my kids are gonna hear this, and I'm sorry you have to hear this, but for a while, like myself, for those who know me, bro, like I went for a bit, dude, having suicidal thoughts.
I think we all do.
And
you know,
and to an extent, bro, like I had those suicidal thoughts, but I thought it was normal. Like I actually grew up thinking that killing myself was normal. Like it was just so normal to me to think that, you know what, we're men. Like, yeah, we were men. We it's okay. Like we if we fucking end up, you know, offing ourselves, it's not fucking normal.
I think what's normal is that we go through those thoughts because we have to process it and understand why our life is so important, what the battle is really all about.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's just normal for us men to think about, well, what if I wasn't here?
Yeah.
Well, what's the point of my life?
Yeah.
Well, that's when we start realizing, like, oh, shit, this person counts on me. That person's going to count on me. You know, and what impact am I going to have in this world?
Amen, bro.
You know, that's what's important.
And I think that's where, I mean, not trying to go full, you know, religious and all that, but
no, bro.
Obviously I'm a Christian and everything as well, and that's where like you need to really connect with God a lot.
Yeah, because
that's where you're gonna find the peace where you're not alone when you think you're alone.
Yeah,
you know, and as man, like I heard this podcast too, right? I'm always self-improving.
Yeah. This
guy said about forgiveness. You know, as men, we carry a lot of guilt, anger, like, oh, I don't like this guy, or, you know, and you learn how to forgive. And one of the guys said, he's like, you know, Jesus died for us, right?
Yeah.
He died for us for something that he didn't even do.
Yep.
And he took all the responsibility on things that he didn't even do.
Yeah.
That's how much he loves you.
That's the life of man.
See, and that's the thing, right? Like, for a lot of individuals, that's the last thing that you get into.
No.
And I'm speaking for myself, man. I know you guys are religious. I'm not as religious as you guys, right? I believe in God, yes. You know, I believe that everything I do and everything that happens to me, it's good. And even the bad shit that happens to me, bro, I always look at it as a lesson. I really do. So I thank him for it. I thank him for it. But you know, there's a lot of individuals that don't. There's a lot of peeps that don't see it that way, right? But it's the challenges that we face. You know, and I know there's going to be, I mean, women, please chime in, right? But there's going to be a lot of people that say, oh, shit, well, you know, being a man is not that hard. Oh. Being a man that, you know what, I'll quote a song by Tom McDonald. I like that guy. He said, the hardest job in the world is being a man, right? People will say, or there's a lot of people that will argue against that. But they will argue with the idea that, okay, well, being a woman is hard. It is hard, and it's do right. I'm not freaking arguing against that. It is very difficult to be a woman. There's a lot of shit that women go through, a lot. But also, it's easier for a woman to empty out her tank when it comes to being hurt, right? It's very difficult for a man. Even you know, women say this shit, right? And for us, we hang out together here and there, and I hang out with some of the homies and shit or whatever. Women say, oh, well, when women get together, well, at least some of the women that I know, they talk about their issues. They talk about bullshit. They talk about, you know, like, you know, their partners and, you know, the shit they're going on. All this bullshit, right?
Right.
Relationships, all this bullshit or whatever.
Right.
We men don't talk about that bullshit. We talk about cars. We talk about everything. Everything that will distract us from the shit that we're feeling inside. You don't go and tell a homie like, hey, my boy, like, trip on this, man. I'm having this issue with my girl, and this is happening, and it's breaking my heart, and it's making me feel, bad. It doesn't fucking happen.
We don't talk about those feelings. We talk about the nonsense that we're going through. Yeah, and what the hell am I supposed to do about it?
What is it?
Right?
We're not talking about the problems. We're talking about the solutions.
Yes, the solution. There you go.
See?
That's it.
Here's another one that says, God put you through wrong and pain to teach you.
Exactly.
It's not all rainbows and sunshine. I totally fucking agree with that. I totally agree with that.
We have to go through it.
Man, you got some great insight. You should have been here today, Bubba.
Right.
Yeah. But it is the truth. Those are the challenges that we have to face, right?
Yeah, we have to go through the BS because that's the only way we grow. You know, and see, it's either we go through it and then we teach our children how to get through it.
Yeah.
And become better, or we move away from it, we hide from it, and now our children are gonna suffer even more.
Yeah. So Mundo Ray says the unspoken battles that happen. Yeah. The unspoken battles that happen every day. And those are battles that happen every single day. And I am a believer in the lessons that you have to learn along the way.
Yeah.
But we as men have lessons to learn along the way. It's very difficult for people to understand sometimes the shit that we go through.
Right.
And I'm with all men. We have to deal with this shit, you know what I mean? But it's very difficult for some men to talk about it. And that's where, a lot of the crap happens. We seriously, we as men need to like start opening up a little bit, even if it's to other homies, you know what I mean? Just talk to a homie, like get yourself a partner that is going to be that will listen to you even, and then just shoot the shit a little bit. The problem is we don't, and then it leads to the inevitable, outcome, which is not an outcome that anybody wants, and it's a life loss in the process. So it is tough. It is tough being a man. It is tough being in that situation.
Yeah, we try to figure everything out on our own, and when we're going through those difficult times, like the unspoken battles that happen every day, yes, they do happen, and we think that, we're going through it alone, and we're going through it alone. We don't want to share it because we have to figure out as men, and we know that, well, shoot, I'm going to become stronger from this, and tomorrow I'll figure it out. Something's going to happen.
You'll wake up. Mm-hmm.
But when it continues and it continues and continues, you can't find the answer. Bro, someone who went through it.
Yeah.
One of your best friends right there. Somebody went through it.
Yeah.
It's not that you have to spill your guts, but we gotta talk.
We have to.
Me and this guy talk a lot.
We talk
a lot. Help us in life.
Like I said, I'm fortunate enough to be able to say that I have I have a few peeps that I could talk to.
Right.
But more so, bro. Like bullshit aside, I relied a lot on my son. Like we've had a lot of conversations, deep conversations.
Those are the best friends. Yeah. My son too.
And we have those conversations that but at the same time, it's like I know there's a lot of individuals out there that don't have that output, and it's like shit. We need to change that as men. We need to change it, but right. We come from this generation that taught us not to talk about shit. That it was wrong to talk about shit. That it was you were a bitch if you did. You were a punk if you had any feelings like that. You just had to man the fuck up and get shit done. Then we fast forward to this generation that we're currently at right now, and this generation is different. The men are different, and sometimes it's very difficult for me to understand these men because these men are very fragile. And I'm not talking shit. I'm not talking shit about because it's not all of you. Yeah. It's not all of you, but I've had encounters with some individuals that are very fragile. That you can't really say something. You can't say anything because they get offended by.
More than likely, they were raised by their mom.
And that is a possibility. And that's the shit, right? And it's not
anyone's fault. It's just the fact that that's what happened.
And look, women, you guys are fucking amazing. You guys are amazing at raising these children. You guys are amazing at doing all this shit.
On their own.
However,
they do it on their own.
However, I go right back to the same shit. You need a male role model. You need to get that.
I was watching a video where a lady was complaining to a football coach because she's a single mother, right? And she didn't like the fact that, the coach yelled at the kid and kind of cussed him out a little bit.
It's good.
And he walks away. She's like, I want to get him out. And one of the parents recorded it, and he said, that's your problem.
Right.
He's like, you don't have somebody that could tell him in his face what he's messing up at. Yep. You're going off his feelings. I'm going off of logic.
Yep.
And the lady was kind of like surprised a little bit, and it hit her, you know. And I think that's the problem nowadays too. Like single women, right, that have kids, put your kids in sports, but let the coach them. Yeah. Let a male figure coach them because they need that. They need that leadership in their lives. You know what I mean?
Even though like back in the day, bro, like when I used to play sports, right? If you freaking win, you won.
Right.
If you didn't, you fucking lost.
Yeah.
This participation, trophies and shit like that, we didn't get, bro. Like I fought.
Yeah.
For whatever little trophies I got, and I'm not gonna say I got a shitload of trophies, but whatever trophies I got, I fought for them, bro. Like that's just the way that shit was, right?
Yep.
And now it's like you have to acknowledge that you were there. Like, no, you don't have to fucking acknowledge it.
Nah,
like,
second place was always the first loser.
But it was it was a shit that it taught you, right?
Yeah.
Like it taught you like shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that should not happen to me next week. Next week I'm gonna whoop their ass, and it was that mentality that made you move in that. So, again, some of the younger generation does have that mentality, and much love to you guys. You guys are freaking amazing, but there's the other ones that want to be catered to, right? And it's like shit. We can't be catering to this shit. We can't, because we're doing the way that I see it. And if you think I'm wrong, chime in, guys.
Yeah,
it's a disservice. If I have to tell you how certain things are done, or if I have to make things easier for you to hear them, right? As a man, if I have to make things easier for Brandon to hear what my point of view is, then I'm sorry, I don't need to be telling you my fucking point of view. I need to be, moving on to the next person. It's like you gotta soften shit up. Like we didn't get softened up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we even from fights, bro. Like back in the day, like these kids nowadays, they don't want to get into a fight. I grew up with the mentality: this is the shit. If you go out and start a fight, I'm gonna whoop your ass. But if a fight came your way and you didn't finish it, I'm gonna whoop your ass even harder.
Yep.
I would think of my dad's hands and be like, that man's got some big ass freaking hands. Shit. This guy over here doesn't have that much big hands. I could throw hands with this fool. Yeah. If I try throwing hands with my pops, he'll whoop the shit out of me. Oh, so then I throw hands over there. That's how I learned how to fight. And I remember the first fight I had, I was scared to get hit because I thought it was gonna hurt. I mean, it did hurt, but but it hurt as much as I thought it was gonna hurt. And I ended up winning that fight. After that, it was like I can fight all the time, but that's how you start, bro. Like that's how like kids need to be out there getting their freaking nosebleeds from getting into a fight, learning how to be tough. But
unfortunately, look at kids nowadays. This is all they know.
I have a saying for these kids, and they're called crystal princesses. And these are the ones that the moment you freaking touch them, they shatter. That is fucking wrong.
Right.
I'm sorry, that is wrong. I leave that for a little female, and even for females, some of these youngsters, like some of this younger generation is raising these kids, these newer kids, right? Like I can speak for my grandbabies. My kids are raising them right, bro. Like they're raising them. My granddaughter is playing with chickens and horses and all that crazy shit.
Right.
She's a tough little girl, and that's how he's raising them. And I am so fucking proud of that, bro, because these kids are gonna grow up with the mentality of like, you know what, I gotta handle business, right? So is
what
my
real
grandson.
Life is about.
So is my grandson, right? But there's a lot of them that are raising them and shielding them, and I'm like, shielding them from what? From what? From fucking learning how to be, productive.
Sometimes they start crying. Oh, what's wrong, baby?
And I heard I was at a store, bro, when I heard a little kid tell his mom, like, shut the fuck up, you baby. Bro, I felt like smacking the shit out of that kid.
Mom would have whipped the shit out of
me. But then I go right back to that, right? Imagine I would have said that shit to my mama. My mama would have whooped my ass. My dad would have freaking knocked my ass out. So where does that change? Like when along the line that we become that freaking soft?
I think it's gonna come down to the man. to the man, let the man really lead. You know what I mean?
And it's not the fucking teachers, guys. It's not the teachers.
Teachers is not their job.
Yeah, it's not their job.
Their job is just to teach, do their job, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of people say, oh, they're learning this in school. Well, that's not really their priority. Their priority is to teach the kid the freaking math.
History, math, fucking science, shit they need to be learning.
And that's the thing where, just right now how this world is, they're really dumbing down masculinity, like really bad.
Yeah.
You know, not to be kind of started, but a lot of feminists
fucking
a lot of feminists like it's like oh no, you can't do this, oh women this, women that, blah blah. We want to be leaders, but then they're in our position and they're like oh no. Actually, they just did a statistic too. 90% of women got a job as a position of a man, which is a CEO. Doing the heavy labor. Well, they even fought for that, right?
Yeah.
The right that they fought for. They literally all the women that did that. All of them quit because it was too stressful. That they said, oh, it was too much. I couldn't handle it. The end of the link, oh, then I got to go home and still cook and do all this or take care of my kids. And I'm like, well, imagine a man has to handle all that pressure, still go home and still be kind and love his family. You know what I mean? And those are statistics on that. So and that's the problem nowadays is like this, everything now it's like, oh, no, well, if a man tries to expresses dominance. Oh no, he's being toxic. He's a toxic male. Toxic male. It's like, come on, bro. It's like it's not. It just that's how men. I mean, you know this, right, Eddie? Like, you know that Mario. Like, bro, you grew up different. Like, nah. You know, even in the Bible it says the man is the leader, the protector.
Yeah,
let the man lead.
So it is.
It's because we have to look at this shit, right?
Right.
So talking about my granddaughter. So she wakes up at 4 or 5 a.m. sometimes to go to the ranch and help feed and move birds. And hay around gangster 3-year-old.
Yeah.
She's 3 years old and doing some shit with boots and
Yeah, that's what they're used to.
But unfortunately, school systems have also failed. Are failing our kids and aren't teaching them the correct curriculum.
Right.
And that is the truth. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is the shit. You want to raise a man, a true man. Let the schools be fucking schools. Teach them science, math, health, all the shit that we got taught growing up.
Right.
The shit that, schools are just to teach you certain things.
Right.
Let the educating, let all the personal shit, whether about man, women, all that bullshit, get taught at home by the parents.
Right.
This is not the responsibility of the schools. And the problem is that we're switching shit around. Schools are switching so much shit around where they're making it okay for a kid to feel like a girl. It's like, no, a boy ain't supposed to feel like a girl. And if he's feeling like a girl, that should be something he's talking over with his mom and dad. Right. And fixing that shit at home, whatever it may be. I'm not opposed to it. Maybe that kid does feel like a girl. More power to him. But it's something that he needs to do at home. Not at school. Schools have no fucking shit. No business handling that shit.
The teacher should teach the curriculum, the material, not their philosophy of life. It's not their response. They shouldn't even be talking about that.
Yeah, and
whatever the lifestyle is, that's their lifestyle.
And I'm game on that. You know what I mean? If you're gay, more power to you. Yeah. Handle your business.
Just don't teach my child.
But just don't tell my kid that that's okay to do. Let me be the one to dictate that shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As long as we're good with that, I don't care. Do your thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't have a problem with you doing it. Like if you want to be gay, be gay. You know what I mean? If you want to be a trans, be a trans. I don't give a shit what you do.
Right.
As long as you don't tell my kid what my kid needs to do. Let me be the one to decide for my kid, or at least guide my kid. That's
not only that, but you want to be a Trumper, be a Trumper. Who cares?
I don't give a fuck. Do whatever you want.
Who cares? Just don't teach my child. Don't teach him your religion either.
Religion, and like I always, what we talked about, right? Politics and religion should never be involved in anything that has to do with school, or even what did I say about the podcast? Politics and religion is not something we talk about. Why? Because you're never going to win. In school, the same shit. Politics and religion should not be an issue. I mean, should not be something that's discussed in schools. I'm sorry. You want to talk about presidents? Talk about presidents. But that's fucking it. Right?
Just know the history of them.
No, like, I mean, just, like, talk about Washington, Lincoln, whoever, Kennedy, whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, got shot.
But but not now. Not the shit that's going on now.
Yeah.
Not telling them,
And it's sad, like, the stuff that you see that professors be teaching, and you're like, and then they ask them a question, like, oh, what do you think is this? And they don't even know how to answer the question. I'm like, man, that's our school system? That's sad. Like, some of the stuff that we see, I'm like, bro, that's sad. Like, for America, that's super sad.
I was seeing a freaking video, bro, and it's like, this shit, I'm not gonna lie, this shit disgusted the fuck out of me. It really did. So there was this one video where it's a toddler, right? And the mom goes and says, "Oh, my toddler is a trans."
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Right?
see that's nonsense.
I was like, "What? This bitch is sick." I'm sorry. Like, I know some people may not agree with me. I give two fucks about it. That is fucking sick, bro. Like, how the fuck are you gonna say that your toddler is a fucking trans, and then you're gonna put
That's
him in
crazy.
medication to switch over his fucking sex? He's a fucking toddler,
I guarantee he didn't have a father in his life.
and if he did, you a bitch. I'm sorry.
Father, yeah.
I mean, this is. I'm sorry, but this is the way it is, bro. Like this shit should not be something that gets discussed when the kid is a fucking toddler. Let him grow the fuck up, or her, grow the fuck up, make a decision on their own. Again, I'm not opposed to someone being gay, being trans, being whatever they feel like being. That's their prerogative.
decision.
That's
That's their
their
choice
life.
in life.
That's their
Yeah.
choice. But do it when you have the ability to think
Make
for
the
yourself.
decision. Right.
And you know what? I know you said right now, don't talk about politics or religion.
No, fucking bring him in. Fuck it.
But that's where I'm going to go to it. Like, this country was based on Christian moral.
Yeah.
And it's like the United States moved away from that. And that's why you see divorces, you see single parents, you know what I mean? And that's why you see a lot of it, because guess what happens? When they split up, who keeps the kids? The wife. Why does the wife get the ex-wife? Why? Well, she's going to get money too as well. Right? And what happens is women use that, some women, not all of them, right? Use that to make money for themselves, and they raise the kid. And the problem is the father's not involved as much.
Yeah.
And usually they say 80% of males that turn into females, right?
Yeah.
Are because they don't have a father figure. They don't have a male figure
See,
there.
and that's the thing. Like, there's a lot of females out there. I agree with you on that shit, right? There's a lot of females out there that say, "Oh, well, I don't want you to be part of my kid's life. I don't want you to be," for whatever the fucking reason may be, right? This is generalizing stuff. But to me, it's like this: you're doing that child a disservice by not having his father be part of his life. Now, if it's a fucking deadbeat dad that doesn't want to be part of it, fuck him. You know what I mean? Whatever. It is what it is.
Right.
But if it's a dad that wants to be part of their kid's life, I mean, he should have the right to do so, especially if he has good intentions of raising that child, right? That's just
If
what
he
it comes
has
down
good
to.
intentions.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. But the problem is a lot of females will utilize that tactic for many reasons. And I'm talking general. I'm generalizing this, right? They use that tactic to be able to, to say, okay, well, I'm not going to have him do this, but he has to pay this, or he has to pay that, or he has to do this, or he has to do that, and jump over the hoops. It's like, a kid is not a fucking, it's not
They
a
use
tool.
that as a tool.
And it comes down to, well, feminists are going to hate me right now, where they're going to say, oh, well, they want equality, but that's equality too as well. Okay, well, go get a job, and you don't have to have alimony then.
Yeah.
Why is it that men only have to do that and give you money? Oh, because you don't have money to work for a job. Yeah, but you're the one who made the kid. Yeah, but you're the one who gave birth to that kid, and you knew you were doing it too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
It's a double-sided door. That's a sword now.
Yeah.
But going back to what you're saying, it's like, that's why I said some women, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
there are some people that I know that fathers don't want to be their father
Yeah.
figures. You know what I mean? But 80% is like they use that to take advantage of that, and that's what sucks. They use los hijos sufren
Yeah.
for that. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and then I think at the end of the day, yeah, that's what it comes down to. The kids are the ones that suffer, not the father or the mother. Like, let's not kid ourselves. You know what I mean? You don't. I mean, the woman or the man, they don't suffer as much as the child does. Ultimately, it's like just you got, and that's where the next look. We as a society, right, made some mistakes with certain aspects of raising tough men for the upcoming generations, right? But this is where we correct that mistake. For the upcoming generation, we have to make strong men, because strong men are what's going to lead this country. Strong men are going to lead us, into the future. You want, these children that are being born, or these boys that are being, and women and girls, to be tough, right?
Right.
These boys, you want them to grow up to be productive men.
Yeah. Your son's in the military, right? He was in the military.
He was in the military, yeah.
Thank you for serving. I know he's on, but and the reason that goes hand what we're saying right now is because us men got to get strong. Because if we got to go to war, we're in the selective service.
Yeah.
Us men go first before women don't.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know what I mean? Like I remember he chose to go to the military. And I mean, I was very saddened by that, but it's a choice he made. He made it, you know, like thinking about his future, thinking about it. And you know what? That did a lot of good for him because it did teach him how to handle things a certain way, and he's become so he's become a man that I could honestly, like he wrote it here. He goes, I identify as a lion. How about that? I believe it. I believe it. He is a fucking lion. He is. Right. He is a fucking beast. But he became that, right? And that is the awesome part about it. And now he's teaching. He has 2 girls, and he's teaching his girls how to be that tough, right?
Yeah.
So it's like he doesn't have a boy, but he's teaching his girls how to be tough. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what it comes down to.
And I think that's what it again comes down to is allow yourself to, like in our business, say allow yourself to be coach in life. Allow yourself to be coach. Let yourself get cut. Let yourself go through those things and learn from it. You know, and like I'm only 28 years of age.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm so thankful to God that He put me in front of very high-end successful people, very great people around me, because I'm always a listener. I always ask questions. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Right?
Yeah.
I always ask Eddie like 30 million questions, right? But it's because why? I want wisdom.
Yeah.
I want it. I want to be a better man.
Yeah.
I want to be an example to other people. And for youngsters out there, right? I always say, look for 5 critical people in your life that you know you're like, I like their life, I like their marriage, I like the business mindset guy, I like this. Be around those people.
Yeah.
Right.
And learn as much as you can. Mm-hmm. Because that's what you're going to carry is their wisdom. And one day you're going to be in their shoes giving other young generation wisdom.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what we should look for as men, as let us be the people that we could go ahead and train the next generation to be better.
Yeah.
But you have to allow yourself to get trained in order to be that elite person.
Yeah, I totally fucking agree. I totally agree. And that's the thing, though. It's having the willingness to want to learn, right? Yeah. To take on that you know, to look for that, to take on that, to be able to. But again, we go right back to the same thing, right? If you're raised by certain people, it's like, look, I've come across a lot of kids that are extremely entitled, right? Because they were raised a certain way,
right?
So there's a lot of shit that I could share with someone about what life, you know, throws at you, right? But they won't be willing to listen because they're so conditioned, right, by their parents or by their moms to, you know, to have that entitlement to say, well, yeah, what you're saying doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. What you're saying doesn't matter. Like,
doesn't fit within my frame of comfort.
So I don't want to listen to you,
right? Without
realizing that the stuff that you're about to to share with them is something that could potentially impact their life in a positive way. Like I'm a believer in this. Like if you're able to learn from somebody else's mistakes, fucking do it.
Yeah.
So you won't make them yourself. But I'm also a believer in this. In life, you need bloody noses, bloody lips, right? You need bruises. You need broken bones.
Right.
You need ass whoopings. You need all that, right? I grew up with all of that. I got scars on my freaking shoulder. I got, you know, my back messed up, my knee messed up. There's a lot of stuff, bullet in my arm. I got a bunch of different stuff that I've gone through in life, right? They taught me lessons. Were they lessons that I enjoyed? No. They were painful. I didn't enjoy them, right?
Right.
But I learned them. And those have taught me to become a better person. Mm-hmm. And I think, you know, when I talk to some of the old school, you know, like at least myself, right? We're old school peeps. They learn the same way. I talk to my baby mama. If I could sit down and talk to my baby mama, talk to some of the old, and we're talking about the same shit. Like literally going over the same crap because they went through shit too. Both men and women, right? We had to go through shit. It was a different generation.
Yeah. Because we understand that the most painful lessons are the best lessons in life. They help you grow and become a better person.
Yeah.
It lets you value more things, you know, like, you know, growing up myself, like I grew up working since I was like, I think like 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
Well, my dad worked at the Swami, you know what I mean? We used to
wake up to my Swami peeps.
Like 4 a.m. in the morning, you're like, hey,
shit, dude, I was there, bro. I did too.
And we used to imagine 8, 9 years old coming home. Sometimes you'd think, oh man, you're gonna go to a party on Saturday. Nope. Sunday, you get there home because you're tired all day.
Hell yeah.
And my dad used to play music, so imagine going Saturdays in the morning, waking up, go buy stuff to resell, then have to go shower, get ready, go play music, come back at 2, 3 in the morning, sleep for 2 hours, and then go.
He's a musician.
Damn, bro, like this is the same shit you're saying. Like, look, I nobody play music, but I had a homie that was a DJ. So I will go to Swap Meet, Santa Fe Springs Swap Meet, by the way. Yay.
Santa Fe.
Yeah, Santa Fe Springs. So we'll go to the Swap Meet early in the morning, hit out the Swap Meet. I used to work Saturday and Sunday, right? So head out the Swap Meet, get out of the Swap Meet, and then head out to DJ at night. So we'll head out to DJ quinceañeras and all that shit or whatever, right? DJ the quinceañeras and the parties or whatever. Get back, like you said, 2, 3 in the morning because, of course, we had a hit King Taco or Taconazo because, that was the drill. Come back, sleep for about an hour. Sometimes we wouldn't even sleep, bro. Like, I would literally just be on the van and then we'd just pack up and go straight to the freaking swap meet and then work on Sunday. We'll sleep a couple of hours while we're in the swap meet. Like, we'll take turns.
In the van.
And then come back home, beat the shit, go to sleep because Monday we had to be in school. Yep. That was the life, man. I was in like 8 or 9. I was about 13 when that shit happened.
Right.
12, 13 years old.
I miss those days, though.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. That shit was fun.
Because it would be like me and my brother. I remember my dad was going. He went to Mexico. Actually got deported. He was fixing his papers. And I remember, it's funny, we were driving the other day. We went to San Bernardino. I worked at the Chino Swami, too.
Okay.
And we used to always walk right there to the subway. And it's funny because I was just watching. I was driving through the other day and I was just like, I remember we used to just like we didn't have much, but you just enjoyed it. And and those are the moments that you're grateful for because that moment what I realized is that's when I knew that money was a tool.
Yeah.
Because the happiness you have to have it first
before
you get it.
Mm-hmm. You know it was fun, dude. It was fun. I had my
it was fun, bro.
I had my swap me Jainita.
Oh,
damn! I still remember. She was cool as shit. Eh? If you fucking ever watch me, much love to you. We had a lot of fun together, you and I.
I used to go. I walk around. It was
holding hands and freaking the swap me. Yep. And she used to work in the freaking concession stands.
I used to call him the swami.
Best girlfriend.
La swami girl. No.
Yeah, dude. Freaking, I had my little Jainita right there, freaking in the swami, bro. Dang, that shit was crazy, bro.
And when it was hot days, it'd be like 90. You're sleeping in the car, like, I can't even sleep.
Yeah, those were some good times, bro. Like,
But you see, that's the difference about us men.
Yeah,
that we remember those things. Those are valuable to us over
those little things. Yeah, bro. They meant a lot of shit. You know what I mean?
That's why sometimes
me reminiscing.
Oh yeah, man. It's funny. That's why I actually connected a lot more with like my brothers. It's funny that, and you know what's crazy? I'm grateful for my brother Steven. Because he was actually into gangs. Yeah. And I used to always love hanging out with him. Like, bro, me and him, we used to sleep together. We were kids, you know what I mean? Used to wake up in the middle of the night and play games. And his story is actually really crazy. One time he said they were running away from another gang.
Yeah.
And they started shooting. And he said that he fell. So when he fell, they were shooting and they passed by. It was a drive-by.
Yeah.
And he said the moment he looked up, there was a bullet right on top of his head, like right there.
Oh, yeah, dude. Shit's happening.
And he said at that moment, he's like, nah, I can't do this. This isn't my life no more. And it's not funny, but I used to like always look up to him like that. Like, oh, it's my brother, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he says that, he's like, I saw my brother, like, oh, he saw me like that. Like, oh, I don't want no one to go through that.
As older brothers, we look at that. I feel like I took the heat for some of my younger brothers. But yeah, bro, like going back to your brother, like I was actually running away from some fool shooting at my ass, dude. And I literally felt, and this is for anybody who's been shot at and understands, everybody thinks a bullet goes like, right? Dude, that shit passed right next to my 2 bullets passed next to my head. I could hear like, and I felt the hot air, bro. And I'm still running. I'm like, thank God this fool can't shoot for shit. You know what I mean? And then I freaking hear the other bullet like, and I feel the hot air, bro, like freaking rolling through it. And I'm like, dude, this fool's getting extremely close. What the fuck? So I jump over a little wall, right? So I jump over the little wall. And sure enough, like, plop, plop. 2 bullets hit that shit. So I run. And then there's this cliff, right? It goes cliff straight down, bro. And there's this little fucking shed. Just one shed in the middle of nothing. I go under the shed, right? Again, I'm not as religious as you guys, but I know this was all God, bro.
Yeah.
I'm under the shed. This guy comes up. I could see him. Guy comes up. He's looking everywhere, bro. Like trying to see me. There's only one shed, so I'm you have to know I'm there, right? Like, I mean,
Where else he jumped?
Yeah, he didn't fall off the cliff. I was able to hear some screaming. He's there. I mean, I'm 100% positive that fool knew I was there. But he's looking around. I could see him because I'm under the shed, so space about this big, but I could see him. And he looks around, looks at the shed, and then starts looking around, and then he walks away. That's I'm like, bro, like, this is insane, because he would have shot a couple of times, he would have hit me. Like, that's it, you know? But that's just the way that life was, and it was just, for us, it was just...
But that's how you know God's always with you.
Yeah, no, that one I threw all on God. I said, man, that was all you. There's no way, you know? But again, it's the mentality that goes back again. It's like that male mentality of like... And again, at that time, I was 14 years old when that happened. I honestly, in my mind, thought I had a life expectancy of 18. So I thought I was going to pass at 18. And I was okay with that at that time. So I was living very fast. So to me, it's like anything that I got, any experience that I got to experience during that time, I was okay with, because I'm all like, I'm going to be gone at 18, so I'm okay. So I just lived very fast until I realized I was 18. I was like, shit, no, I'm going to live a lot longer now.
You hit a point.
Yeah. You
hit a point, and you said you're set on. The problem is people set on things like that.
Yeah.
In their life, because it's all they know. Like, all you knew was gang.
Yeah, that's
It's like when people say, "Oh man, I don't know, I can't do nothing else. I'm just like 9 to 5, and that's it."
Yeah.
But the problem is that's because that's what you tell yourself. That's what you set yourself on.
Yeah.
Like, where you shouldn't tell yourself that. You shouldn't limit yourself. The biggest powerful thing you have is your mind.
Amen, bro.
And I think that's, you hit on a point that I don't think people caught that. But it's like, don't set yourself things like that.
Yeah. And that's the thing. We do set ourselves on. For us at that time, that was a life expectancy. We're set on that, like, hands down, until I, at least for myself, until I came about and started thinking like, I have a son. It can be 18. I need more because I have a son. And then that 18 turned into 20, and then I had a daughter, and that 20 turned into 30, and then and then it's just. Yeah.
No, and I respect that from you, because Eddie's the same thing. Like, Eddie, I used to we always have our conversations.
Yeah.
We're always hanging out together, working together. Well, not hanging out, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I remember when I asked, I was like, "Oh, you used to smoke weed?" He's like, "Yeah, I used to smoke a lot of weed." Remember? Sorry to throw your business.
Damn, this boy. I ain't telling you nothing no more.
Yeah.
But,
Not only weed, but I did crack cocaine too.
Everything. But he used to drink a lot. He was telling me he was an alcoholic. And I asked him what changed. He's like, when I knew I was going to be a father. I was like,
It makes an impact for some of us, not all of us.
Right.
You know what I mean? You have to look, man. I always go back, and I think I went back to I'm gonna go back to one of the episodes we had at the beginning of the podcast when we first started, and it's why? Why do you do what you do? What's your biggest why? Right? There's a lot of individuals that will sit back, and I'm speaking for all my men out there. There's a lot of individuals that we lie to ourselves, right? And we say my biggest why is my family. Oh, my biggest why is my kids. My biggest why is my wife. My biggest why is my. Stop fucking lying to yourself. Yeah. What is your fucking why? Is your why being fucking successful, being rich, having a nice car, being famous? What is your? Be realistic with who you are, and that's what it comes down to. Stop freaking lying, like this whole shit. No, don't lie. Just be freaking honest to yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if your why is your freaking is being
whatever you say your why is, ask why is that your
like
the seven rule.
The seven
you have
rule.
to ask them ask yourself 7 times, but why? But why?
Yeah.
But why? Because they say John C. Maxwell says after your 7th time, you'll find the true why. And if your why don't make you cry, it's not really your why.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Though. There's a lot of individuals that go back to a lot of men that we're conditioned because we are protectors, because we are providers. We're conditioned to think that our biggest why. And to me, obviously, this is not a lie to me. To me, one of the biggest whys I had was always my children. And that's the reason why my ass is still here. Right? Because if it wouldn't have been for them, I still would have been, I would have ended up in prison, or I would have ended up dead. Hands down. And I know that as a fucking fact. So to me, my why became them. And that was my exit. That was my outlet. Right? But for a lot of individuals, we lie to ourselves because we're so conditioned as men to be protectors and providers that we automatically say our why is our family. That's bullshit, because a lot of them, your family is not your why. It's being, like you look at yourself in the freaking in an Instagram post and you're like, damn, I want to be fucking Instagram famous, or I want to be, wealthy, or I want to have, this, or I want to be, I want to be a business owner, or I want to be this. That's your why. If you're real to your why, you're gonna reach it.
Yeah.
If you're posing.
Thing of it is that people think that, if I said this is my why, has to be my why. No, your why could change.
Fuck yeah.
It's okay to change because you realize, you're not the same person as you were yesterday.
No.
Who you are today is it's a better version.
Yeah.
You're an upgrade.
Yeah.
You're always upgrading. So don't worry about what yesterday's why was. I'm sure you've already reached it and surpassed it. Your why has become better.
Yeah.
Right? So
see, you have Jason Mendoza saying,
from Georgia.
Brandon de Georgia.
The Atlanta. I said Brandon the Atlanta.
Yep, and then my son again saying my biggest why is my kids. And I believe it. And I believe for my son, I believe it because, his girls, like my granddaughters.
It's true. When my kids were young.
Bro, they're his everything. Seriously. But then again, it's like, I could look at him and say that I'm 100% certain on that. But then again, there's other individuals out there that don't have it. To me, it's this. I'm not saying you don't love your kids. I'm not saying you're not an individual who's in love with your kids, who cares about your kids. I'm just saying identify your true why. If your why is not that, then find what your why is. Right. Follow it, and that why that you follow is going to be able to help you provide for your kids. Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Just don't lie to anybody because you want society to think that you're an awesome person. Fuck society.
At the end of the day, it's like nobody's gonna do it for you. You have to do it. Nobody's gonna do it for you as much as you're gonna do for yourself.
Yeah, because nobody's coming to rescue you.
No, it's like,
you're on your own.
Doesn't matter what you say on Instagram. Hey,
yep,
doesn't matter.
It's like people say, "Oh, well, I do it." It's funny because in an art organization or business, there's people that say, "Oh, I just want to be mediocre." I'm like, yeah, but there's more to that. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to be mediocre. That's not even my mindset. You know what I mean? But there's more to it. Okay, what else? What is it? Oh, well, what's this? Is that okay? Well, what else? What else? You know what's crazy? I actually have a good story.
Yeah.
The youngster's coming tomorrow to the office. I prospect this guy. Yeah. He came in, and he's a little cholito, right? But he changed. He's only 23 years of age. He has 2 kids and about to have another one. And he came into the office. I interviewed him. And at the end, he was telling me why I don't want to say where I'm from, right? But he's around our area because he escaped the gang life from LA. And he's like, I don't want to get into trouble. And I asked him, I said, bro, what do you want to do in life? Like, what do you want to do? He said, I just want to win. And I saw it in his eyes, though. Like, I saw it, and he's like, I want to prove people wrong. I want to show who I am, that I'm not that guy no more. And I was like, well, you made the right decision coming today because that's exactly what's going to happen. But you have to make the decision to do that.
Yeah.
I'll give you the knowledge, but you have to bring in the work ethic, and that's it. Well, I saw that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people don't, you don't see that as people come in and just, I just want to be rich. I want to no, bro. There has to be something that's going to get you going.
The beauty of life is this, bro. We all get handed the same 24 hours a day, right? And your past doesn't define who you are. Like, if my past defined who I was, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Right.
And my aspirations are still extremely high. Where I'm headed is still somewhere that's very, very viable to me. Somewhere where I'm headed. I know where I'm headed. I know what's going on. But see, my past doesn't define me. My past is what made me. Right?
Those failures.
Yes, all the failures that we had to go along the way. But this is the thing, right? You need to be ready to become the ultimate alpha in your own life. You have to press yourself to be that. You can't let anybody else redirect you or direct you. Have mentors, have people that tell you stuff, have individuals that you learn from, but ultimately it's your decision to make. Ultimately, anything, like I run by a saying that I say, right? You could lead a horse to water, you just can't make him drink, and that's life itself, bro. Like, you, as an individual, need to make your own path. And that's just what it comes down to, right? Like, your past is never going to define you. Your past is what's going to help you become who you are, but it's not going to define you. So then get your ass up. Understand that in order for you to become the best fucking version of yourself, you have to work your ass off. You have to do shit. You came alone to this world, and you're going to leave alone. Fucking make no mistake. The day that your ass is dead, you're dead by yourself. You were born alone, you're going to die alone. You have your kids, you have your family, you have your loved ones. They're there for you, but they're there to set their own paths as well.
Right.
Right? And we as individuals need to set our path. So just understand, we have to fucking make ourselves be who we are.
Damn,
Bottom line, bro.
That was good, bro. I felt that. You know, and you know what's crazy? We're on Saturday, huh? We had that guest speaker where
Right.
he missed his first daughter's birthday, and it reminded me of Tim Grover, because he missed when his daughter told him, "Hey, where are you going?" When he was packing his luggage, he's like, "I gotta go to work." She's like, "Why can't you just stay?" And he's like, "I can't." You know what I mean? And he's like, that moment it hurt him. And the guy said the same thing. He's like, it was my daughter's first birthday. My whole family was giving me crap.
Yeah.
But when it comes to legacy, there's going to be times that you got to go ahead and make those sacrifices. And he's like, bro, she's one. At the end of the day, she don't remember that crap.
They don't.
But they don't. And when he said that, I was like, wow. And you know, go Niners. I hate the Seahawks. My brother's watching the game. I watched like the ending of it. And at the interview, the coach, I forgot his name from the Seahawks, he said, I only see my son for 30 minutes every Thursday.
Damn.
And I'm like, oh, that's why he's there.
Yeah.
That's why he's there. I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. Because he worries about his legacy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's because you're the only one that has control of that. Like, nobody controls that shit. You control it yourself. So, that I mean, hands down, bro, it comes down to that, right? Like, it's you and only you. There's nobody coming to rescue you. There's nobody coming for you. There's nobody coming to help you. There's nobody. If you don't do this shit on your own, you're doomed to fail.
Only you make your own story.
Yeah. That story is yours to be written. I mean, you're going to write your own fucking story, bottom line.
Right.
Like, and that's the thing that people don't understand. They're waiting for somebody to come rescue them. Nobody's coming to rescue you, right? Like, I'm going to put it to you this way, bro. I know you guys are religious, but not even God is going to rescue you if you're not willing to rescue yourself. If you're not willing to put in the work, don't expect God to come help you. You know what I mean? Because God doesn't help the lazy.
Right.
I'm sorry. You know what I mean? But you have to help yourself. Bottom line, bro. Like, I look at it like this. You either sink or swim. And I'm going to fucking swim until I get to that fucking shore and survive. Like, that's just the way I am. And I think I'm fortunate enough to know that my kids are in the same mindset that I have. You know what I mean? They're willing to swim until they get to the shore. And they're teaching their kids. But your kids are going to build the path themselves.
You know, and it goes down to the same thing we were talking about earlier. You're the father figure.
Yeah.
So you modeled that. And now they're looking at the role model being that. You know what I mean? Now they're doing it. You know what I mean? So
that's what it comes down to.
So look at this one. It says, again, my son, it says, I want them to grow up better. Therefore, I succeed for them. I'll conquer for them.
Absolutely.
That's the way it should be because you're leading the path, right? And then Seasoned by Steph, that's my daughter. He goes, there's probably a whole different episode. But in this day and age, I know many men who have better baby mamas.
Better baby mamas.
Yeah, baby mama. No matter how hard men try for their kids, a woman can stop them from that. And that is very true. You know what I mean? Especially in this day and age. And I think that's the sad part.
Right.
When a man is really trying to be part of that kid's life and the woman blocks him from doing it.
Absolutely.
I think it should be a position where if a man wants to be part of the kid's life, give him a shot. Give him a shot. You know what I mean?
If
they use them as a weapon, though. They use the kids as
don't use the kids as weapons.
No, and you know, my cousin's wife, you know, she obviously, this is a second marriage, but I appreciate what she said one day. Well, you know, obviously she just said like her son didn't want to go meet her with their dad.
Yeah.
I mean, well, his dad. And she was like, no, go. Your dad's paying. He's doing his part. Now do our part. You got to go with your pops.
Yeah.
And I looked at her and I was like, respect.
Yeah.
Because other women like, oh no, he don't want to go, no, but give me my money. It's like,
you know what?
I'm
gonna call you out, Maria. Much love, Mama. My baby mama, bro. We had a lot of differences at the beginning of our separation, but to me, she's always been one of the greatest moms, brother. Like I bullshit you not. I have a great relationship with my kids. But a lot of that relationship, my kids know this, a lot of that relationship is because of her, right? she wasn't one of those women that were, using the kids as a tool, as a weapon. It's not. She may have had issues with me, but she never put my kids in the middle of those issues, bro. We never put our kids in the middle of the issues we had.
Right.
And for that reason, if no other reason, for that reason alone, I could honestly say right now and tell everybody who's watching, she is probably one of my best friends. And will be one of my best friends until the day that I die.
Awesome.
Because she's that type of woman, bro. If more women will do what she does, more men will be involved.
Right.
More kids will have their fathers in their life. More kids will be impacted in a positive way.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Right? Whether you like it or
agree.
not, that's how it is. Well, we're already cutting it short, guys. I mean, we went way the fuck over, but it's all Gucci.
Great time.
Thanks for staying on, guys. Appreciate that.
And I know we could probably go on this topic forever, but we have to end it
forever.
somewhere along the line, and I think now it's the time to end it. Again, ECs, we missed you a lot. You could have a lot of input on this one because you two, young lady, are an amazing mother. All right? You are. You definitely are, and I am very, 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 very proud of you. So yes, let's go ahead and yes. So I'll shout out my daughter as well. She's an amazing mom, and my son, you're an amazing dad. My daughter-in-law and my son-in-law, amazing people. Seriously,
Awesome.
God.
Yes.
So much love to you guys. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and I think we're gonna wrap it up already because if not, we're gonna go on talking forever. So you guys ready?
Yeah.
That's
Brandon,
it.
Brandon, it was a fucking pleasure having you here, brother. We definitely have to have you back up in this joint again. Eddie, like always, you freaking.
I know.
You're Eddie.
It was your pleasure having me.
Yeah, it was my pleasure. But he's here every.
Absolutely, man.
That good looks
You just put them on the corner.
That good looking gigolo's here every freaking every Monday.
Every Monday I'm here.
And then JV over here. But before we go, we want to talk about we want to talk about amazing parents. We want to talk about amazing dads, amazing moms. Want to congratulate Jonathan and Bernice on the new baby girl. We have a new alpha in the house. All right, a new alpha. We're gonna be sharing some more, and hopefully she comes around soon so we can introduce her to the world. Awesome. I guess here at the Lion's Den.
Yes.
But can't wait to meet her.
Hopefully next week.
Yeah, we are so happy for you guys. Congratulations to both of you. I know you guys are gonna make amazing, amazing parents. And we love you both, man.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us once again this Monday. It was a pleasure. We went over, but it's all Gucci because it's our podcast. We get to do whatever the fuck we want here.
Thank
but
you,
anyways,
guys.
Can't wait to see you next Monday. Same thing, 7 o'clock. It is going to be a fun one coming up next Monday. So make sure you tune in. And while you're there, make sure you like, share, subscribe. You can like us, share, subscribe to what? YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
All of the above.
All of the above. So
Yes.
much love. Catch you next Monday. It's your boy Mario Alpha Dynasty. And we out this joint, guys.
We dos.
Let's wrap it up.
Let's go! Crazy.